Well, from the little general knowledge that I have, this sport is in India probably born in this city. It's been, it is always played, has been played extensively in the neighborhoods of Mumbai. And you know it better than I know that, all the most, sort of famous players in cricket have played cricket in their neighborhood parks and gardens and gymkhanas in Mumbai, whether it's Sachin Tendulkar or whether it's, you name them. I mean, sort of they've all been here. So I think it's been important to the history of Mumbai. Cricket, the history of cricket and the history of the city have probably been associated with each other for a pretty long time, yeah. Now Mumbai has in its development plan, which is a land use plan of the city, about 18 square kilometers is open space. Now this in ratio to the population of 15 million people approximately, or 12.4 million people approximately, we find the ratio is about 0.03 hectares per thousand people, as opposed to something like 0.4 hectares per thousand people in planning standards, as ought to be the kind of open spaces. So it's a very meager open space. Out of this 18 square kilometers, nearly about 5 square kilometers is encroached upon. So you're left with 13 square kilometers open. And this open space includes playgrounds, parks, gardens, and recreational spaces. And a lot of it has also been encroached upon or barricaded with exclusive engagements by way of clubs occupying them, or by way of restricted spaces for recreation. So you don't have, therefore, majority of our children in this city, majority of youth in this city, or majority people in this city really having free access to the open spaces for their leisure and recreation. Well, it's difficult to pinpoint on the aspects of cricket, but what is interesting is that Mumbai, as it expanded or as it grew over a period of time, experienced many neighborhood parks and gardens and playgrounds in which children could play. There was easy access to community playgrounds, and these community playgrounds played a very significant role in enabling children to develop sports and be active in it. I remember now, for example, when my children were growing up, let's say 15 years back, or 20 years back for that matter, I'm fairly a well-to-do middle-class person, with all the privileges that somebody like me have in this city, in terms of my incomes, in terms of my contacts. But the most sad thing has been that even my children grew up playing whatever sports they like to pursue, whether it's cricket or football. They played it on the streets in the neighborhood. There were no neighborhood playgrounds which children could, grow up with. And that is sad. That is sad about the way city is expanding. That's sad about the way our cities are being planned, the way cities are being used for profiteering, for real estate interest merely, which is at an enormous social and cultural and other costs. And I think that's what is reflecting in the kind of incapabilities or underdevelopment of sports in India in general and in our cities in particular, including in Mumbai. The problem about Mumbai has been that Mumbai has been expanding without any planning. It's not even inadequate planning, it's absence of planning that really marks this city and compared to any other city in the world for that matter. And even today, we don't have a comprehensive plan for the city's growth and expansion. Now, this is very clearly reflected in the deterioration of the quality of life here, very clearly. And in fact, it has led to anarchic development, if I may say that way. And what it means then in anarchy is that whoever is most capable, whoever is most powerful, whoever is most influential, then dictates the terms of development. So development has not been equal for all its citizens. Development has not been inclusive. Development has been highly exclusive. And as a result of that, majority of people in this city have not enjoyed or even had access, or even today, do not have access to the benefits of development, whether it is education, whether it's healthcare, or it's even recreation. The example that I gave you of playgrounds, in the absence of playgrounds in this city. Now, one of the most interesting things about the city of Mumbai is that as the city has been expanding, its public spaces have been shrinking. And it is this phenomena which really bothers us most, and that is most manifest and seen not only in the shrinking physical open spaces, which obviously directly affects the recreational possibilities and facilities in the city, but also has led to the shrinking of democratic space in the city. A space for participation and dissent is surely shrinking. Well, one of the things is what we're doing through planning, and this is what the exhibition is about, which is called Open Mumbai. And Open Mumbai is an idea precisely to challenge the kind of shrinking public spaces or this shrinking democratic space that we are beginning to sort of live in. And in terms of physical planning, what we have proposed therefore is the idea of neighborhoods as the basis of city development. Now, what that means is, if you see Mumbai and its history of development, the various areas of Mumbai or the various neighborhoods of Mumbai have evolved over a period of time with its own identity, their own distinctions, their own problems, their own needs and aspirations. Even geographically, they are different from one another. For example, Bandra is not same as Chembur, or Chembur is not the same as Parel, or Parel is not the same as Colaba, or for that matter, there are no neighborhoods which are identical, and you can't have a common set of planning and development principles which could be uniformly applied to these areas. And if they are, as we are doing so, then there are unequal developments. And there are conditions which are highly then oppressive, irrelevant, and which are then sort of, in a sense, alienates most of the people from the planning and development process. So coming back, what we propose is this idea of neighborhoods as the basis of city development, in which we are saying that let's prepare through community participation, through neighborhood people's engagement, neighborhood plans, which would reflect their needs, aspirations. And through that, we prepare comprehensive plans for public spaces. Now, public spaces include playgrounds, parks, market areas, travel points, or transportation hubs, and so on and so forth. If all of that can be comprehensively planned out and networked in a sense, in order to expand the whole domain, the public domain, or the idea of the public spaces expansion, then we will find that there are adequate spaces for children to play, the old people in the community having adequate space and safe areas for their leisure and recreation. You will have all kinds of people having all kinds of possibilities and opportunity through a very participatory and active social structure. If open spaces can be the basis of city planning. Now, this is very significant. This applies to all cities across equally. And if open spaces could become the basis of planning, as I said, what it means is that public life and dignity, or you can say the quality of public life and dignity, is undoubtedly reflected in the quality of public spaces that a city offers, and vice versa. The quality of public spaces a city offers, in a sense, is a reflection of the dignity of public life and quality of environment of a city. So if that could become the basis, as opposed to hardcore real estate interest being the basis of city development, in which we find turnovers, financial turnovers, have been the sole consideration of city development, and which in cities like Mumbai have reflected in land grab, forcible occupation of open spaces, manipulation of playgrounds and parks and gardens for further construction, leading to the kind of conditions and deterioration of living standards and quality as in Mumbai. Well, whether it's realistic or not, this has to be achieved. Let's be very clear about that then. And then we can grapple with alternatives and possibilities, and we can say some of it, what we are proposing, are doable, or some of it is not doable. But the first thing is first, that we have to be committed, we have to come together, and we have to demand that there is adequate open space available to nurture community development. But yeah, if I may sort of conclude by saying, let's play cricket, could be a metaphor to say, let's encourage sports. Let's build playgrounds substantially, sufficiently in our cities to enable our youth, our children, to not only have better health, but also contribute enormously towards promoting sports in this country and to equal and compete in the international arena in every way possible.